What's up, everybody, and welcome back to CCLP4. We are on level 101, Condo Management, and as it turns out, this is the second of the levels that use the walls of another level and occupy the slot of the original level, in this case, Apartment from CC1. Go around and collect keys to collect all the boots. Watch where you push your blocks. Alright. Turn on the sound. And let's start getting in some stuff here. So, the title of this level doesn't do a whole lot to distance it from its original layout, but the gameplay is definitely a little bit different. Instead of just trying to navigate the level, you're trying to figure out how to swap items and open up more of the maze. Normally, I wouldn't be that big of a fan of this concept, but I like the fact that, and I notice Josh likes doing this, I really appreciate just how much the level feels like it opens up as you get boots, because right now we're just getting keys. But you can see here, there's all these different areas with elements in them, and a lot of them overlap different sections. So being able to access even just one cluster of these things can be really helpful. Okay, so this gives us the yellow key, and I believe that's the last key we needed. And I think the door we need is up here. Let's see if I remember this correctly. Oh, no, it's not. Okay. I guess we need one more key. The green one? Yes, it's the green one. I remember this. Alright, so we need to be careful where we push this. I believe it's there. Yep, here we go. Alright, so now we get the green key, and that should give us some boots. Whoops. Not over there, obviously. Over here. Alright, let's get those boots. And see, now we can cut across here. And I just love the fact that you can do that. That's really neat. And this can be used to grab that. Get the skates. Go ahead and do that just in case. Alright, where can we use skates? I know we can use these probably all over the place. But where do we need to use them at the moment? Ah, here we go. Suction boots. And now it's just a matter of collecting all these. Oh, we need the flippers for that. And apparently we're going to need a block for the flippers, judging from that arrangement down there. Just go in and weave in and out of here to get these. Alright, that block looks like it could be useful. Alright, so we're going to need to push it there. There, and I guess we can go around. This section is certainly the most complicated of the level, but that's not saying a whole lot. Alright, there we go. So now we just need to collect the remaining chips, and I think most of them are on this side, actually. Let's go back. So, I don't know if I've talked about this before, but I've had this issue that affects the sort of things I like eating, and it is that I really don't like it when there's more than two different kinds of categories of things in food. Like, do you guys have this problem? Like, I don't mind having sweet and salty things, but if it's like sweet and salty and both things are a different texture, that really throws me off. Like having nuts and brownies. Like, I don't mind eating nuts, like in other contexts, and I don't mind having crunchy things in a brownie, like chocolate chips. But if it's both something that's contrasted in terms of flavor and in terms of the texture, in this case it's smooth, soft brownie with hard nuts, it's just weird to me. Anyway, we're moving on to the key issue, which is another IDA level. And this one, I gotta say, this level is really interesting. You have to get rid of all these keys. You cannot collect any green keys. You have to make sure you get rid of all your blue keys. So let's find ways to get rid of the red key. Well, first of all, we cannot pick any more of them out here. I think it's just that one door. Oops! I was not supposed to do that. Alright, let's do that one first, because that's the more complicated one. Yep, and that's it. Alright, we cannot get in there without suction boots, so let's come back later. Here, I have to get one of these. So let's get that one, because that one, that way we can only get one blue key and not get the green key. Alright, now for what's arguably the hardest part of this level right here. This area, I think that was a blue key we just collected. This area is very interesting because you have to get this fireball to hold down the button for you. And then you have to get it across to the bomb over there without it drowning first. So you have to do this, I believe, and then do that. Alright, so we gotta find something under here, it seems. Ah, there we go. We can also, I believe we can extract a block. Yeah, here we go. Which will be useful, because I believe there's a water space over here? Yes. It's kind of nerve-wracking blind, but we can actually see this from down below. We actually passed it by earlier, I believe. Okay, so now for this section. Actually, before we go into that section, let's go take care of this first, because we have our suction boots now. We have some blue keys that we need to dispose of. And we can do so over here in this little maze. Alright, so we do not want to collect any of the green keys, so let's watch out for that. The yellow keys are no problem. The green keys are a problem. Alright, looks like we're going to need to get that blue key, but we have... Yeah, we have one more blue door to use there. There we go, we got rid of all of those. Got rid of all those, and so we should be able to exit. This is the level that inspired the layout for Science Museum in a lot of respects, so I'm really thankful to Ida for the inspiration here. In fact, I think when she saw Science Museum, she actually said, that looks like a level I would make, or no, not Science Museum, Exhibit Hall from CCLP4, which was also kind of inspired by this. She actually said, that looks like a level I would make. So I was kind of proud of that. Alright, so we're going to move on to Malachite. And this is a Josh Lee level that I played in Josh L5, and it's really interesting. You have these series of dependencies that you have to keep track of that are different across the board, and they are all hinged on this toggle button being pressed, or other toggle buttons being pressed. So I'm going to basically get all the chips that I can get while everything is in the state it's in, because you can see when I press that button, that ball is going to go on the slide, and I'll be prevented from blowing up any bomb over there. Okay, so this one over here, I want to wait for that ball to get down there so I can create a nail, so I'm not going to do that quite yet. Okay, this one I have to do now. Like, there's no way around that. And I can retrieve that block, too, so that's nice. Okay, so that one's done. This one is going to be interesting, because it looks like there's a bit of a timer here in terms of getting this block out over here. So we're going to have to watch out for that. I'm going to go ahead and take a block. I'm just going to clear up space here while we have not a whole lot going on. We can go ahead and do this. I actually cannot get over there, can I? Tell you what, I'm going to put that there. I don't know if this is a mistake or not, but let me go ahead and do that. That should be okay. Alright, so now we've got this section. This section is actually kind of a little bit mean, but not much. You just have to do things one thing at a time. First of all, let's do that. Second thing is, let's go ahead and do the thing on the left there, because once that door is opened up, we're pretty much blocked from that. And it looks like that ball is going to move onto this slide over here next to us. So we're going to have to get a block where I'm standing and then blow up the bomb over there, presumably. Okay, I think I see how we're going to do this. We're going to get this over here, like that. And then, after I'm done with this button, and I blow up that bomb, I'm going to put a block right where I'm standing. I think that's going to have to be the way that goes down. Alright, so I think we've done everything we can do for this phase. So let's go ahead and do that. Blow that up. I'm going to go ahead and put the block here, and then we'll have to press the button if we're ever going to make it through that thing over there. The way that the level forces you to think this all through is pretty neat. I like that a lot. Why don't I just go ahead and do this while we're at it? It's also a really fascinating level to optimize, and I'm still not certain if my score is really all that optimal or not. I set a record on it around when the set first came out, and even that was not exactly super simple. But then I found 2 more seconds afterwards, and I'm still not certain if that's it. Alright, so if I push this here, hopefully that's okay. I think I have to do that, though, if I'm going to push that block up, so I think that was a good choice. I think. Hopefully it was a good choice. Alright, so we have only 4 chips remaining. One of them we're going to have to get when we open the toggle wall there. Let's see, where are the other ones? I'm trying to remember where the other ones are. We already got all that. One of them is the one there. The other one's the one here. Let's go and put that there. And then one's there. Okay, so let's go and do this. This should be correct. Oh, I forgot about the... Oh, no. Oh, no, I missed that. I missed that. That was really dumb of me. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't think I can correct that. I don't see any way you can do it. Okay, let's start this over. That is a real shame. Okay, got that one. Still pretty sure about that. I'm trying to remember what I did before. It's been a while since I played this level. I know I wait to get that ball on the slide, so... Maybe I just position both blocks? I forget. Alright, let's go and do these ones over here. Thankfully, these ones are really straightforward, so... That's always nice when they're fairly simple. Okay, I'm going to wait to do that chip until I loop around. Alright, let's go ahead and position that there. Actually, no. That there first. Then over here, we'll just put that there for now. I'm guessing that that recessed wall is there so that you can get there if you mess up? I don't know. I don't understand why that's even there. Alright, I think we're good. So let's go ahead and do that. Alright, so I think all we need to do is just position both blocks in place first, and then we should be okay. I think that's the play. Pretty sure that's the play. Let's get that while we're at it. And yeah, I think you can get all these chips within 2 toggle presses. Pretty sure. And I also know that there's 1 extra block as well, so you don't need all of them. Okay, so one of these... Well, first of all, one of these is going to go over here. Let's go ahead and just position it. And then 2 of them are apparently going to go over there. How's that possible, though? Because I... Oh, wait a minute. Wait. No, the bomb is still there. I still have to get a block there. I feel like I'm missing something here. What am I not seeing? Because I forgot this block over here. Oh, wait, that's for the end. Okay. So somewhere I'm wasting a block. I feel like it's here. I really feel like it's there, but I don't know. I don't remember how I did it before. But yeah, somehow there's one extra block, and I forget how, but there is. Alright, let's just do it that way, I guess. There we are. And then we got this one. And then we just have that one in the top right. And then it should just be a matter of getting the block over there to the end. We spent way more time on this than the bold route, but oh well. Okay. First things first, I'm going to do that. Then I'm going to do this. I think I'm going to go ahead and press that twice to get it over there, and then still leave this open, and then there we are. And then I got to press it again. Why that press is necessary, I don't know, but... Oh well, we got Malachite completed, so that was cool. Moving on to Dual. Not Duel, but Dual. This is a level by Marcus O, whose work I admire greatly. And it's a really interesting level, too, because it basically involves knowing exactly what order in which you have to do things, and each side of the dual layout is only 7 by 7. Which you'd think would make the level really easy, but it's actually pretty difficult in places. So it looks like, first things first here, let me go ahead and get this thing opened up here so I can actually release the tanks without any problem. So now this block is opened up, so we've got that to work with. And it looks like we can just freely walk into this spot and open up the toggles to get that chip. Alright, so now we got another blue key. Is that... No, okay. We can get these skates over there, but I'm not sure I want to do that yet, because I see a thief over there, which could be a problem. And I think we may have already messed this up. Did we? I'm trying to remember. It's a yellow key that we would need to get through that. I'm trying to remember this. Were we not supposed to get the red key right away? I bet that was the problem. We were not supposed to get the red key right away. Alright, let's try this again. Do that. Do that. Do that. Alright, do not get the red key. Instead, we'll go through there. Okay, so with the red key, we can actually open up this path, get this, and now we can go in here anytime we want, which is nice. And we've got a blue key in here that also enables us to get this this chip over here, providing we have the flippers. But there's a bit of an issue, because once we use that blue key, then we will not be able to open that up, right? Because that's going to be blocked. Or this over here, I should say. Then we will not be able to get that. And we also can't get this right away, because then we'll get our skates stolen before we can use them at the exit. So what to do about that? Well, the answer is thankfully pretty easy. All you have to do is just push the block in here, and then fill this in. And that way you don't actually have to use flippers when doing this. You just have to discard the fire boots. So in order to do that, I'm going to go ahead and switch that around. And then we will discard fire boots, get this, and now we still have our blue key intact, which is also nice. Get that, and now we can go over here. There's also a bus to this level, but I'm not going to show that. So, actually, I will show that, because the bold route's pretty much well known. So you can do that right away. Go over there. All of this as usual, but you go ahead and get the flippers. Basically, this hinges on the idea that that tank is not going to switch, or is going to run you over, so it wouldn't work in links, basically. And then you just go over here and use the block to bridge the exit instead of using the flippers. So, that's pretty much it. Alright, so moving on to Living Things. This is a Josh Lee level, and it was originally Josh L5, which we Let's Play, but it's been updated with some modifications since then. And the whole shtick of this level is you gotta identify which fire boot you can take without disrupting the pattern here. And you do have to take one fireball per area, so that's something to watch out for. Alright, so we got that one done. I'm trying to remember what changes Josh made to this. Alright. Not that one. Oh, definitely this one. There you go. Okay, let's go over here next. Okay, so both of those are necessary. Oh! Pff, wow, I was daydreaming there. Alright, start over. The way the thin walls are used is pretty neat. I do like the fact that some of those things are pretty much what the paths of the fireballs really hinge on. So that's kind of cool. Okay, that one's fairly simple, so... Ooh, and we got through past that first trap in the nick of time. Alright, so it goes down here. We need all of these, but that one there we need... Oh, that one. There we go. Okay, so that's done. So now we've got this one. Alright, I think it's that. That seems pretty obvious. So if I'm not mistaken, we've got one more. Is it up here? It is, okay. This one's a really confined space. Oh, there we go. Alright, so now we've got all the keys we need. Wait, did we mess up that path? Oh, come on, don't tell me I messed that up. What did we miss here? Oh, it hits that one. So it's that one. Yeah, it's that one. Okay, my bad. Okay, that was silly. I shouldn't have done that. It's interesting how the ones you take affect the path. You know, sometimes they affect it in more significant ways than others. Okay, so this is the third one for us. This one's really simple. This is one of those levels that's kind of nice in links because you don't have to hold the buttons down to do that. I'm trying to remember this one. I know it's one of the ones here in the middle. Oh, it's this one. There you go. Ooh, we got through that in time. Okay, so now we just need the first one, the one over here. Okay, there we are. And go through. There we are. Alright, now we can finally get all the chips. Cool, 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 cool. Alright, so now we need to find where the exit-related stuff is. And it turns out it's over here. We haven't explored here yet. But here we've actually got a fireball that we need to lead on a path that we define. And this is actually a little tricky. Because ultimately the fireball needs to end up over there where it blows that bomb up. So let's figure this out. It looks like if we move up here, we remove this one, And then we keep that one. Then it goes over here. We can go there. Will that work? I think that'll work. There we are. And we can get the fire boots we need to get to the exit. And these will not be stolen, so that's good news. I really like this concept. It's a very unique idea, and I really enjoyed it. Okay, gridlock. More like grid block, am I right? Heh heh heh. Alright. This is by Cybersmack. We haven't seen a level by him in a while. And let's see. I believe we just do the obvious thing there and do that. And I think this goes there, if I'm not mistaken. You basically have to figure out how to arrange all these blocks. It's a really interesting process. Okay, let's put that one down there. I forgot how to solve this, so you guys will get to see me solve it again, I guess. Alright, so I would have to get my fire boots stolen. Do I want to do that? I guess we're going to have to, so let's try it. And now we can open this up, apparently. Uh-oh, did I push that down too quickly? Oh, I could push the... Uh-oh. Yeah, I'm stuck. I was going to say, I could push that to the left and just get the tank button pressed. And that would be useful because of the tank there, enabling us to exit up that path. So that would be nice. Alright, and that's also good because we ultimately need to open up that path for the exit. So I think we were on the right track, we just made a little mistake there. Alright, so we definitely need to push it down at least. This is a really good example of a level that knows how to use a very distinct amount of tiles and elements in what's ultimately a very confined space. And that's not an easy thing to do, believe me. Alright, hopefully this is correct. Hopefully this is correct. My memory of the level is kind of a little vague, so hopefully we're getting this. And we shouldn't need the trap anymore, so let's go ahead and push this off. Alright, over here we can do this and get that once we make our round trip here with the tank, and then... There we go. Okay, that goes there, that goes there. This apparently gets used to press that. And now we can push this here. Okay, what are we doing with this? Oh, this is the one that goes to the exit. Alright, so this goes there, this goes down there, and we can just turn it around and do the hokey pokey and get to the exit. Oops, I think my window unfocusing was trying to happen there. Still want to know what I can do about that. Alright, combinations. This is a classic Andrew Menzies level. So this level, which was previously timed, now it's untimed, basically involves getting different combinations of boots in order to get through each area. And you have to go through every possible combination of boots, by the way. I'm pretty sure you do, at least. So there's 4 sets of 1. How many sets of 2 are there? There's 1 set of 4, so that's 5. There's... How many sets of 3? Oh, no. I don't remember. Alright, this is the one that's kind of tricky because this is a 0 one. You don't need boots for that one. This one is a 1. So you just need flippers. You want to go with as few boots as possible. Flippers and suction boots, so that's a twofer. I'm inclined to say there's like 8 pairs of 2. Wait, no. There was a 12 pairs of 2. There's 16. No, there can't be that many. There's only 16 rooms. Is it 6? Oh, I forget. I forget how to do that. Alright, I think we need all the boots for this one. I'm just going to say right now, optimizing this level is one of the things that I'm the most proud of doing in this set. I'm actually really happy with the route I got. It's not really something I say about a lot of levels, but this one, I poured enough time into it, I made a map that I feel really good about it, and if someone beats it, I'm going to be... I don't know what I'm going to be. I'm going to be kind of surprised for one. But also, I'm going to be really, really upset. Whoops, that was almost a disaster right there. So we need to get suction, ice, and fire boots. So there can only be 4 combinations of 3. So 4 plus 4 plus 1. That can't be right. There's... Oh wait, plus 1 for the empty one. So that would mean that there's 6... Yeah, there are 6 combinations of 2 then. Okay. So we were on the right track. Alright, so we just need skates for that one. Sorry, I had to do the addition in my head. Okay, so this one right here, we need skates and suction. There we are. Ta-da! Alright, so this next one, we're going to need skates, everything but suction. This one, we're going to just need fire boots, it looks like. Over here, we're going to need suction and fire. I feel like we did that one already, but no, we didn't. Yeah, you can't avoid it there. Alright, so this one we're going to need suction, ice, and basically everything but fire boots. And we still have some skates at the top here. Alright, this next one we're going to need everything but ice skates, it looks like. Alright, we are almost done. Ah! I don't know why I did that. I think I thought I had skates. Man, oh, we're going to have to go through this all over again. Really? Also, wait a minute. What happened to my route? Oh, it just disappears whenever you... That's an interesting feature. I never noticed that. Okay. I guess because it's an untimed level, so you don't really have to worry about that. That's still really strange, though. But yeah, it's possible to solve this level in 110 seconds. As far as I know, there's only one basic route that accomplishes it, but I could be wrong. I mean, there could be other routes. I mean, there's definitely some things in here that are open to interpretation, so... Alright, this one is a suction and flippers. So yeah, I guess I can talk about some stuff. Oh, that's right, we were talking about the food issue earlier that I've got with combining things that are different. So another weird one I've got is I have trouble combining flavors, or not flavors, things that are different colors if they're meant to taste the same. And that may sound weird, but the classic example I can think of is at work we have a cafeteria, right? And they serve breakfast quesadillas. And the cook there loves to offer me spinach tortillas. Now, don't get me wrong, I love spinach. You know, I love eating it in salads and stuff. But when it comes to tortillas, most of the ingredients I have in this quesadilla are on the warm end of the color spectrum, right? Like, I've got bacon and eggs and potatoes and cheese and stuff, all the carb stuff. And having it wrapped in something green, just that tastes salty still, that weirds me out. Like, I don't know if I'm the only one who's weirded out by that, but I don't know, it just feels wrong to me. I just can't do it. Like, I don't know, it's hard to explain that. Alright, so this one is the everything but suction one. Okay. I think in my bold route, this is one of the first rooms I go through. The order in which I do the rooms is really weird. It's not very systematic. I mean, it is systematic in the sense that it's planned. It's just... It doesn't look like it's a very straightforward order. In some places, I should say. Not like all the time. Alright, this one we can easily grab. There we go. Alright, this is the one with the skates and flippers. We never even got around to that, thanks to the little mishap we had over on the next room. Alright, this is the everything but the skates room. There we go. Alright, this next room is the everything but fire room, right? Yeah. Last pair of skates, and there we go. So it's just the fire boot and the suction that we just need. Right there. Alright. So yeah, I really like this level overall. It's a really neat idea, and it's kind of the advanced version of Tool Shed in some respects. Alright, so next time we're going to take on a pretty big level here called Scatterbrains, but we'll do so in the next video. So until then, thanks so much for watching, and as always, you know where to find me on the flip side.